Health experts have called to step up virus genome sequencing by increasing genomic surveillance and epidemiological analysis to track the SARS-CoV-2 variants and break the chain of COVID-19 transmission in the country. Malaysia produces its first ever locally built armoured vehicle, the Tarantula HMAV 4x4, which is a high mobility four-wheel drive armoured vehicle.
Malaysia sees economy rebounding to pre-COVID level by mid-2021, said by Malaysia Central Bank. World largest shipping company says the Suez Canal blockage economy fallout will continue into second half of May.
More than 100 people, including children, are reported to have been killed by security forces in Myanmar on the deadliest day since February military takeover. What caused the coronavirus outbreak? A long-awaited report from the World Health Organization is published today as world leaders call for an international treaty to deal with future pandemics.
Salam Sejahtera and Salam Satu Malaysia. This is Ramya Priyakrishnan presenting you the local news. Health experts have called for increased genomic surveillance and epidemiological analysis to track the SARS-CoV-2 variants and break the chain of COVID-19 transmission in the country. According to epidemiologist Dr. Awang Bulgiba Awang Mahmud, Malaysia is doing very little of this compared with countries like the UK, Denmark and Iceland. He called for the government to randomly sequence some of the viruses found in infected persons in the country, particularly from large clusters, to see if such newer variants were now found here. He also mentioned that the ministry should analyze the characteristics of patients carrying this particular variant and see if they were different from patients with other variants. He also requested universities to help out as many had the capability to perform genome sequencing and analyze these patterns. He highlighted that Malaysia should also test whether the antibodies produced in response to the vaccines used in the country would work against these new variants. This had to be done continuously as viruses mutate all the time. Recent clinical trials conducted by vaccine manufacturers like Pfizer, Novavax and Johnson & Johnson showed that their new vaccines were less effective against the new variant. Manipal University College Malaysia's professor Dr. G. Jayakumar mentioned that more genome sequencing analysis had to be conducted to identify the COVID-19 virus variants, and the vaccination registration should be ramped up and more efforts needs to be taken to overcome the myths and rumors in social media regarding the vaccines. Malaysia has achieved yet another milestone with the country's first ever locally built armoured vehicle, the Tarantula HMAV 4x4, which is a high mobility four-wheel drive armoured vehicle. It is 100% Malaysian made and produced by MILDEF International Technologies Sdn Bhd, proving that a local company has the capacity and skills to rival that of defence industry players worldwide. Senior Minister of Defence Dato Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said the armoured vehicle was built by a team of 8 engineers and over 100 Defence Ministry staff, involving a cost of 16 million, including research and development spread across 4 years. According to him, the vehicle had undergone various evaluations including road durability, fuel consumption, load and climbing tests, which were conducted on par with international military standards. He said the Tarantula had been well received by some countries in the Middle East, however no orders had been placed yet. He added that MILDEF International Technologies can produce 40 Tarantulas a year if there is a demand. With its durability and capability of reaching speeds of up to 110 km an hour, the Tarantula is also capable of executing various important military missions and protect its crew and passengers. Thank you. Now, let's move on to the economy news by Nitesh Narayan.
Hello and Selamat Sejahtera. I am Nitesh Narayanan. Today news about Malaysian sees economy rebounding to pre-COVID level by mid-2021. Malaysian Central Bank said it expects the economy to return to pre-COVID level by middle of this year and previous to keep monetary accommodative as the country charts a recovery from the pandemic. Malaysian Central Bank said gross domestic product may expand to 6% to 7.5% in 2021. That is slower than the earlier projection, 6.5% to 7.5% growth. The revised outlook comes after virus cases peaked in January, forcing revenue cuts on travel that await of the recovery. The easing of those measures following a drop in the infection rate and the country vaccine rollout will help economy rebound by second quarter, according to the central bank. Bank Nagara Misha Governor Noor Shashmisa Junub said that the growth will be driven by the stronger recovery in export, higher private consumption, faster investment activity, and progress in major infrastructure projects such as the East Coast Rail Link. Monetary policy assessment will remain data driven, while operation will continue to be direct towards ensuring sufficient liquidity in the foreign exchange, bond, and money market, according to the annual report. World largest shipping company says the Suez Canal blockage economic fallout will continue into second half of May. Fallout from the evergreen time lock in the Suez Canal will ripple through the economy for the next few weeks or months, according to the Maersk, the world's biggest shipping company. The Evergreen, which is among the world's largest container ship, was locked in the canal for 6 days, effectively closing one of the world's most important trade routes. On the morning of 23 March 2021, the Suez Canal was blocked by Evergreen, one of the world's largest containers. The Evergreen is 400 meters and weighs of 20,000 tons with a maximum capacity of 20,000 containers. It was carrying 18,300 containers on that day. The Evergreen was operated by the Taiwan-based shipping company Evergreen Group. The ship was spread on March 29. The company said it was see that the queue waiting for the canal was rapidly diminishing. Around 50 ships has been delayed for about a week because of the blockage. Some of those ships wait on either end of the canal while others were redirected around the Cape of Good Hope. The effect of those delays will feel in port around the world, the company said.
Myanmar seen its deadliest day since the coup last month. Reports of more than 100 killed by security forces. A United Nations envoy quoted that they are determined to kill as many people as possible, but demonstrators are not backing down. The resistance to Myanmar's military coup is a bloody milestone with more than 100 dead in a single day, including children. In the captain of military celebrated the Armed Forces Day holiday. The country's senior general mentioned that the military would protect the people and strive for democracy, and military might simultaneously be used against young protesters calling for freedom. Terrified people are seen hurriedly carrying injured protesters to safety. In this video, you can witness three men driving down a street on a motorbike. Security forces opening fire. One man is struck and the others run away. The officer continues shooting, but according to the reports, the man survived. The death toll since the start of the coup has now topped 400, but the citizens in Myanmar have been objecting to the detention of their former leader Aung San Suu Kyi and other elected leaders. COVID-19 is likely to have been passed to humans from bats to another animal. That's according to a long-awaited report from the World Health Organization into how the pandemic started. The study, which has been seen by the sources ahead of its publication, also dismisses claims that the virus escaped from a laboratory in China as extremely unlikely. This eagerly awaited report has faced setbacks and diplomatic wrangling, and experts from the WHO had trouble even getting into one city at the center of initial outbreak of COVID-19. Investigations finally started in January this year, more than a year after the first cases emerged. Key findings of the experts reports that COVID-19 origins from bats through an intermediary animals to humans, but it doesn't offer definitive answers on the mystery at the very heart of the pandemic on how the virus first jumped to humans, and the theory that the virus was released via a laboratory incident in China is considered extremely unlikely. Although the Wuhan food market was initially thought to be where the outbreak began, WHO and Chinese scientists found evidence that the virus could have been circulating for some weeks before December 2019, and some of those infected had no connection with the market. It comes as the Prime Minister Boris Johnson joins a group of more than 20 world leaders calling for a new international treaty to help the world deal with future pandemics. They say coronavirus has posed the biggest challenge to the global community since the 1940s, and countries must be better prepared in the future. Boris Johnson's Emmanuel Macron and Germany's Chancellor Angela Merkel are among those calling for a new international treaty to deal with future outbreaks and ensure universal and equal access to medicines and vaccines. This is all for today from PS Breaking News. Signing off, Damansari Morgan.